Welcome back, Wolfpack. Rollus here, and this is how to use Houndoom. So we're going to look at Mega Houndoom to begin with, and those are some pretty awesome looking stats. 140 on the special attack, 115 on the speed, 90 on the defenses. With the 75 hit points, that's actually really strong on the sweeper, because it means you're not going to get outright blown up. That at least you have a chance of being a 2-hit KO kind of Pokemon in this Mega stage, and that's a pretty good thing. Now at the same time, I've not seen one competitive Mega Houndoom at all, but when you think about it, it does make sense. Because it's a Mega, it doesn't have an item. So any Pokemon with 115 base speed or better are just going to be stronger than Mega Houndoom in a lot of situations because they can have a choice item, they can have a Life Orb, they can have a Scarf, so that means now you have a higher attack Pokemon with a Scarf that's going to be faster or hitting harder or something like that. Pokemon like Weavile, Pokemon like Ambipom, Pokemon like Alakazam. Mega Salamence is just better physically because 145 attack and 120 speed by comparison, so Mega Houndoom's stats just kind of drop off. Also, it's a Dark Fire typing, but really that's all the coverage that Mega Houndoom is going to have. It doesn't really have too many moves outside of Dark and Fire types, and the typing itself, it's okay, but it could be better. I mean, Water, Rock, Ground, and Fighting weakness, you just have a pretty spread out weakness kind of set that the Fire is not a very good defensive typing. So I mean, you do have to worry about Earthquake a lot, you do have to worry about Rock Slide a lot, and that can be a problem. Hopping into Pokemon Showdown, we're going to start with a Houndoom strategy, and this one might blow everyone's minds. Also, really quick, let's go and look at Houndoom stats. So, for some reason, Mega Houndoom goes from 50 defense to 90 defense. So we're using up 40 of our 100 points in defense. And we don't want Mega Houndoom to be a tank, but we also don't have tankiness on regular Houndoom, so it kind of doesn't make a lot of sense. Then we get our special attack, special defense gains. So Houndoom becomes a really weird Pokemon. Has offensive capabilities, has moves like Sucker Punch, moves like Pursuit, so it wants to be physical, but then it has a higher special attack, and Dark Pulse and Flamethrower and stuff like that, so it's a really awkward Pokemon. So then I tried my best. I was like thinking, what could make Houndoom very strong? So I looked into doubles, and then I realized Houndoom has a lot of scary things in doubles that not a lot of Pokemon get access to. That we have Feint, we have Destiny Bond on the same Pokemon, we have Foul Play on a Dark type. This isn't great support. I don't think anyone has looked at Houndoom as a support. I think that this actually might be viable if you can really support Houndoom to support other Pokemon. So another interesting thing is that it gets Unnerve. Unnerve, that ruins Lumberry, that ruins Citrus Berry. But this actually undoes a couple of strategies right there, just from the ability, so boom. Good doubles ability right there. Looking at some other things, Feint, nullifies Detect, Protect, Quick Guard, Wide Guard. Excellent. If you can actually out-predict your opponent on that one, like, okay, the heavy metagame in doubles is going to be about protecting. So you say, okay, he's going to Feint. I'm going to stop that Feint, and now I know I can blow him up this turn, which is why you also might want to play some Tailwind. You keep Houndoom alive under Tailwind, you know, you're knocking out your opponent's Pokemon before they hit you. That does a good job of keeping your Pokemon safe while using Houndoom as this support. So what I think is protect, set up Tailwind on a sweeper Pokemon, then have them just try to hit as hard as possible. Houndoom has a good follow-up Foul Play. Foul Play gets stabbed. Houndoom as a Dark type is going to be throwing out a super powerful Foul Play, over 140 base power with this, and then it uses their attack stats, so they have 100 something base attack Pokemon. It's like you're using a 140 base power move with that. That's going to potentially cause a lot of knockouts or really soften up the opponent to get knocked out, and then Destiny Bond. Reason why I like Tailwind with this. You have Tailwind, you're doing disruption, you're making plays around, you get hit, Focus Sash procs, and then you just say, okay, Destiny Bond. Trade 1 for 1 after also causing disruption and maybe even opening up some KOs with a Feint or Foul Play. So Houndoom right here is crazy. Now here's where it gets weird though. I think Focus Sash is the most effective. Focus Sash, Destiny Bond, Focus Sash just so you're around on the field longer to make plays, very good thing. But at the same time, you don't have any offensive moves, so you don't need to invest special attack, you don't need to invest attack. Which means you have to invest defensively while carrying a Focus Sash, so it might look weird, but then it means you might be a 3-hit KO Pokemon, or at least you're a 2-hit KO Pokemon. So it gives you some pseudo tankiness and at least that reliability. And also instead of Protect, if you're not running Tailwind, you can probably still be strong with Super Fang. Super Fang does half target's current hit points, so you see a tanky Pokemon, drop that tanky Pokemon to half, blow them up with your sweeper, maybe hit like a double hit move, so that way you know you're getting the damage where it needs to go. And that's to support Houndoom in doubles, and I think that's going to be the best way to run Houndoom just regularly. Also looking at Sucker Punch, Pursuit, Overheat, Destiny Bond. Singles Houndoom is going to be like generic Dark stuff. Comes in, uses Pursuit, comes in, uses Sucker Punch, tries to go for like an Overheat Sucker Punch. Here's the interesting thing about Houndoom. Because it is mixed, you can go with a hasty nature and then just go attack investment. What I think is come in, overheat, take a hit. If you survive, Sucker Punch, KO, go into Destiny Bond. If you're faster, 2 for 1 right there. Boom, Houndoom's alright. 95 speed isn't the best, so its identity doesn't really work against sweepers, but as some kind of wall breaker or some kind of Pokemon that can just really play with these slower Pokemon, Houndoom's actually going to tear it up pretty well. Looking at Mega Houndoom finally. It doesn't have an item or an ability effectively. That if you're not running Mega Houndoom in Sunny Day, you might as well not be running it. That it is gated by its ability. So you have to use a Drought Pokemon. Now since it is your Mega, you can't use Mega Charizard Y. So now we're looking at Ninetales. You need to have Drought or you need to have a Pokemon setting up Sunny Day. I was thinking Prankster Whimsicott. Maybe, or Prankster Pokemon. Some Pokemon that can reliably get Sunny Day. You give it the Sun Rock if you need to in singles. And then you just kind of do whatever. But at the same time, now you're 115 base speed Pokemon with Destiny Bond. So, I was looking into maybe setup potential that you bring in Houndoom in the late game. That, you know, it's one of your last Pokemon, that a lot of the opponent's Pokemon are really weakened. You come in, set up Nasty Plot. We did talk about that tankiness. That at least with these defenses, you already 2-hit KO. So, set up Nasty Plot as you Mega Evolve. Next turn, you might be faster than your opponent because now you have that 115 speed in your favor. Timid Nature, go for that speed. Flamethrower, Dark Pulse, try to blow them up. If you can't, you know, Destiny Bond. So at least you're going to have that reliable 1-for-1 and a lot of damage. That if your opponents have already taken a lot of damage from like Stealth Rocks, Entry Hazards, or they're already just low from battle trades throughout the game, Nasty Plot, Flamethrower, and Dark Pulse is going to pick them up under 115 base speed. So you have a lot of speed power here and at least some survivability, and that could actually make Houndoom very threatening. So you don't need the Solar Power if you're running Nasty Plot. So now it's just kind of like, we're not getting the most out of our item or ability in this case, but we can still just be a strong Nasty Plot Pokemon with 140 special attack and 115 speed, and then carry a Destiny Bond. And I think that's actually pretty crazy right there. So maybe Mega Houndoom, pretty solid in singles, and in doubles, terrifying. That reason why I was also bringing up Whimsicott. This is a double setup as well. That first turn, Protect, Tailwind, and then second turn, well actually first turn Protect, Mega Evolve with the Tailwind, second turn set up the Sunny Day. Now that means you're getting Solar Power, you're getting Sunny Day boost, you're getting Stab on a Heat Wave which hits both opponents under 140 special attack. That might be one of the strongest attacks you can throw out in doubles, period. That you're getting so many boosts, so many damage modifiers, you know, with the Solar Power and all those other crazy things that 140 special attack is going to cause some KOs. And again, we're fast into that Tailwind, still have Destiny Bond to hold on to, Dark Pulse to single out opponents, and Whimsicott can also carry Helping Hand, which means that might even blow up resisted Pokemon even with the double split because there's just so much raw damage coming out of that Heat Wave, and that could be pretty monstrous right there. The only problem I see with this is that you are pretty setup reliant because this is 3 turns worth while keeping a kind of sweeper Pokemon on the field. But at the same time, if you're going faster and knocking out Pokemon before they hit you, it works out. So if you guys enjoyed this video, hope you guys really enjoyed this Houndoom set. I think this is a rare moment of brilliance that I haven't felt like I really innovated something in a while, and I think this Houndoom set does show it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have a nice day.